welcome back to Patio Talk. It's been a few weeks, and it's been a few weeks because I really want to try and be a positive voice and only share love and encouragement. Not only positive things, but love and encouragement. And I'm just not really feeling that right now. You know, I'm feeling a lot of disappointment. I'm feeling a lot of worry. Feeling a lot of anger. You know, I'm just not having a ton of overly positive emotions lately. And I think that's valid given the situation in Lake Charles, especially because it was preventable. But I don't want to dwell on that in this moment because, like I said, I just don't have any words of love or encouragement to really offer right now other than I love you and I am thinking about you. And if there's something I can do for you, please don't be afraid to reach out to me. But I also think it's important to be transparent about where I am. So I don't share that with you to try to bring you down. I'm just sharing with you why I haven't made a Patio Talk episode in a few weeks. But I'm also realizing that Patio Talk is a way I can be present right now. And I can be present with you guys by talking to you about how to pot some propagations from my grandmother's garden. So I would like to take a few minutes to share that with you today. I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. And I would love to know what you think. So I have a couple of cuttings in here that are ready to go and some that I'm just starting, but this is some Swedish ivy from my grandmother's garden. And it has just a really light pink variation on it. I don't know if you can see, but it's been sitting for about 3 weeks. I've got about 1.5 inches of roots on it, and I'm gonna go ahead and plant it in one of these little tiny terracotta pots for now. When you're starting with propagations, you just wanna make sure that the pot is not too big, because if it's too big, they will drown in water. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back in here for a second and prepare the pot, and then we will plant it. So I'm gonna put a couple of pebbles in the bottom of here for drainage, and then I'm gonna do something else. When a plant, well, really with all plants, but when a plant's root system is young, it's really important that it not get overwatered and be able to oxygenate. So with stuff that I propagate, I like to take a little bit of sphagnum moss, and I like to wrap the roots up in there. Oh, sorry, I should have done this first. I like to just very gently collect the roots and kind of gather them. You don't want to bend them, you want to be really easy with them. And then I'm going to take it, gently place it in this sphagnum moss, and then dunk that into some water and just kind of gently kind of create just a little moss ball, right, that protects those roots. So I'm going to gently hold that in this hand, and then I have some dirt right here, but on top is some compost that I like to put at the bottom of all of my pots. You can just pick compost up. You can make it yourself, first of all, which maybe we'll do an episode on. This is not compost that I made personally. I do have a compost pile, but right now it is not ready to be harvested. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna put a little bit of compost off the top of here into my pot. All right, and then I'm just going to take this little root ball and place it right in there. And then, all right, I'm going to leave it for a moment because all of this on the top is a layer of compost. So we're gonna go ahead and take that layer of compost off by planting our other little propagation pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop some in here. All right, so putting that on top of the pebbles again. Compost is really, really good for plants, and it's also got a lot of different stuff in it that allows it to be very aerated. So it's good to have at the bottom. It promotes drainage and a healthy plant overall. All right, so got another little piece of Swedish ivy. Okay, curl up the little root ball. Grab a little bit of sphagnum moss. Gently form a little mound. Just want to gently squeeze and mold it together. Okay. Now that I have some dirt visible, I'm just gonna take it and we're very gently just going to now we don't want to pack it too tight because soil that's packed too tight can't breathe. And it's good to use moist soil because remember, we don't want to overwater this little cutting. All right. Cool. Now we're gonna put some dirt on this guy. Ugh. It is so hot this week, you guys. I don't know what the weather is like where you are from, but we have had a lovely dust cloud, which has actually presented us with some pretty stunning sunsets. I don't know if you guys noticed the sunset yesterday. I guess talking about it now, if you didn't see it, is pointless because there's no way to describe it. But anyway, hopefully we get some rain today. I would love that, and my plants would love that. All right, so we've got our two little Swedish ivies all ready to go. And they will outgrow those pots probably within the next 2 months, but I like to keep them in a small pot for now so they don't get overwatered, and also so you can keep a close eye on them while they're establishing their root system. In a month or two, I'll probably plant them in a larger pot together. So the last thing that we're gonna pot today is, this is a cutting from my grandmother's hibiscus tree. So I'm gonna place this in a slightly larger pot because it's actually gonna be a bush. It's got a little more, needs a little more room. Right now it has a very small root ball, but it will not be long once it's not in a glass tube before it needs quite a bit more room. So you want to avoid having to repot your plants too much, and planting it in this little pot will give me some room, but it will also allow me to keep it close inside to make sure that it's establishing roots nicely and is developing healthily. All right, so I've placed it in the middle. So last week I actually had a little segment on the news with my friend Amy Abear on the KPLC Midday Show. It was so much fun. I gave some tips that I've collected through reading and little courses that I've done in the last couple of months, and just through trial and error as well. And I enjoyed it so much. If you guys watched it, I would love to know what you thought. Eventually, if I do another segment, I would like to make them available on YouTube and Instagram as well for those of you that don't watch KPLC or who aren't local. It was a whole lot of fun, and we are going to do another segment. Really excited about that and looking forward to it. All right, well, these are my little propagated babies. I'm not going to water them today because I used moist soil, but I will be watering them tomorrow, and I'm going to keep them in my kitchen window where I can see them and keep an eye on them as they grow. I hope this video finds you guys well. Thanks for joining me for Patio Talk today. I am looking forward to hearing from you guys and looking forward to sharing with you again in the near future. Hang in there, and like I said, if there's something I can do for you, please let me know. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.